Hey there, Angie Wagler here for Rise Now and the 2-Minute Wake Up Call. Well, I have a little story to tell you today. Not long ago, a couple months ago, I went to visit my aunt and uncle. Paul and I took my mom and another aunt along to visit. And when we were visiting, my aunt showed us a beautiful plant that she had. It's called a Hoya plant, and this is a picture of what a Hoya plant looks like. It's got beautiful, waxy little flowers on it, and it was a beautiful big plant. And she said, you know, there's a story that goes with this plant, and the story is that it was actually comes from a plant that was my grandmother's, and when she passed away, that would be well over 20 years ago, the aunts and uncles were cleaning out her apartment, and everything was cleaned out, and there was one little scrawny plant in a tin can on the windowsill, and someone said, well, let's just throw that out. And my aunt said, oh no, I'll take that home. And she took it home. She said she had to pry it out of the tin can, and she transplanted it, and she cared for it, and she nurtured it. And it's grown into this beautiful, beautiful plant where every once in a while she'll take a slip off and root it. And she showed us one that she had rooting in a water bottle. It was going to be for her daughter. And she said, you know, if you're interested in having a piece of this plant, I'd be glad to cut another bit off for you. And on my way out, I said, you know, I would really like a piece of Grandma's plant. I don't know, something so beautiful as a plant that had been my grandmother's. And so she cut off a little piece, and over here are the piece that she initially cut off. Can you see the roots that are growing there? And then there were a couple little leaves that I trimmed off too, and they're growing a few roots, a root system on that too. And it got me thinking about you know, the roots that we come from. You know, every family has its good points, and every family has a few skeletons in the closet, but you know, God's a generational God. And it got me thinking, hey, you know, he says that for those who love him, you know, for those that follow him and are connected to him, there's a blessing that he will pass on generation to generation to the 1,000th generation. And it got me thinking about the beautiful things that my mom has shared about growing up. And one of those things was they would come home from church and they would sit around the piano while the meal was being prepared, my grandpa and the children, and they would sing hymns. And that's one thing I remember even growing up. Every time my aunts and uncles would get together, there'd be a sing-song. There would be, you know, hymns and other songs that they would sing. They loved to worship God together. And you know, that's one thing that actually has been a root that's grown in my life. And I want to encourage you to look, what are the things from your past, from the generations before, that God may want to resurrect and sprout up in your life from the roots that have gone down deep. Well, I invite you to think on that, and until we meet again, stay awake and stay alert.